Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month, teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching, as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out.
I think everybody's now heard what the Great Resignation is and how it's impacting organizations and teams. And recently I'd led a number of sessions virtually and a couple in person. And every single session, different organizations ask me the fundamental question of, how do you use coaching when all people care about is more money? They just want more money. People are offering them more money. They're getting signing bonuses. Now, let me make this very, very clear and hopefully objectively. Coaching is not an absolute. It is not something that we use to resurrect a situation. We use it to coach people, invest in them. And I'm going to go back to a conversation I had with somebody who said, what do you do when you have these younger people and all they want is more money? And I say, well, first of all, that's a very short-term thinker. That's someone who's in the moment thinking very short-term. And I said to him, would you agree with that? He said, yeah, I would. I said, great. I said, long-term is usually typically things like goals, aspirations, not motivations of what motivates them specific to the job, but what motivates them as an individual person. Would you agree that's more long-term? And he said, yes. I said, awesome. How often are your leaders having long-term conversations? And he just stopped. And he looked at me and he said, that's a great point. I said, that is the point. I said, it doesn't give a foolproof solution. It doesn't make sure that every leader who has this conversation, oh, now all my people are going to stay. That's not the objective. Yet, if we're proactively having conversations with our people and we find out that somebody is motivated, they want to become a future leader, or somebody wants to run their own business, or maybe you have a salesperson who doesn't want to go into management. And oh, by the way, they want more territories. They want to make a lot of money. Those are 3 vastly different people that you would coach. They might have the same job title. So what we're going through is also very short-term thinkers and long-term thinkers. If we don't have the conversations about long-term, goals, aspiration, what motivates you, they're going to resign themselves to short-term thinking. They're going to accept the money and leave the organization. Now, if I have a long-term conversation and I know that somebody wants to start their own company, and I have a trade-off with this person saying, look, I would love to help you move in that direction. As long as I still get what I need from you, I would love to help you facilitate that goal. That's a tough leader to leave, even for more money. So one of the challenges that we have is that we have to be very, very conscientious of having these conversations proactively, not reactively. And so a lot of times when coaching comes up, it becomes this reactive strategy. Coaching needs to be relentlessly proactive, investing in people, their strengths, their opportunities to improve, and specifically germane to what they want out of their careers, out of their lives, or what have you. See, one of the most fundamental examples is I'll use sales. And this is true of really any organization. You know, the leader without the conversation will say, geez, Lisa, you could become a future leader if you keep your sales up. You could become a manager. Now, what if Lisa in her heart says to herself, oh my gosh, I see what leaders go through. That's the last thing I'd ever want to do. That is not what turns me on. Now, here's the funny thing. The manager's intentions are fantastic. Yet by making that statement and trying to motivate on the boss's terms, guess what happens? She doesn't feel a comfort to speak up and say, whoa, 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 not for me. They typically stay quiet. That's why we ask questions. That's why we ask questions. And we find out, Lisa, what do you want? Where do you want to go? What does your career look like? If you could draw a picture of the perfect trajectory of where you are now and where you want to be and what those intermittent steps might look like, draw that out for me. You're going to learn a mountain of information that positions you to help offset that inevitable offer of, I've got more money from you or for you from an outside organization. So think about having these conversations. And someone, when I presented this, he goes, well, that's like a stay conversation. I said, no. Stay conversations often are reactive to somebody getting a job offer. We have to be proactive about our people. Then they never become a conversation. So think about proactively sitting down with your people and finding out two things. What motivates you from each and every one of your employees? And then make a list and think about how you're going to facilitate that. It facilitates strength of relationship and trust. Good luck. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.